you've got a really unique background. I think you've had some very high-level positions in industry, and you're very well respected in both the academic and the business world. Could you tell us a little bit about your career?
Okay.
She's very modest too.
From a career standpoint, it's really, I can't figure out what I want to be when I grow up. That's how it actually works, Gordon. I have had a really fun time and continue to have a fun time doing all sorts of interesting things. I started out of college thinking I was going to be a programmer. And I was a programmer for a while and decided that wasn't too much fun. So I ended up going for my master's degree and then almost a PhD in computer science. And I was hired out of the computer science program to be the token woman manager back in the late 70s, early 80s. It was great fun, great fun. Got to do the first distributed system pilot project for Rockwell International.
Wow.
It was very, very cool. I have found out since then that they gave it to the girl because the girl would probably mess it up. Well, we didn't mess it up. It went beautifully, had a fabulous team, and actually the system was in use even 13 years later when I went back out to check the plant. Then I decided to go into business for myself, and I supported networks when they were really in the infancy. Worked a lot with savings and loans and financial institutions to support networks. I was even mentioning to a friend a couple of days ago that we interfaced a 9-track tape drive with one of the original PCs to be able to download data from the mainframe. Wow. And analyze it with Lotus, if you can imagine. This is
wow.
81, 82 time frame.
Yeah.
And then I decided kind of what I wanted to do when I grow up, and that was going back into teaching. And I taught for Richland College for a while. Took off, went to Novell to be Director of Certifications, Director of the Worldwide Trainer Network, and all of the courseware development. And then came back to Dallas with Raytheon as a Product Marketing Director, I think was the title at the time. But then I really figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up, and that was going back into education and trying to make a real difference with that middle majority. I think we have a lot of people in the U.S. that spend a lot of time with the excellent students on the top tier and perhaps with the students who have learning disabilities. But I think we have not enough time spent on helping people provide careers for themselves in that middle majority that where most of us fall.
That's very interesting. I was very impressed. I was at a meeting at your advisory council meeting in February, and I was very impressed with the students that we met, and I was impressed with the way you interacted with the students. I think you had a student there was a student there. They're not in your class anymore, but these are Collin County students. This is a woman that you had worked with back in the 80s, right?
In fact, she was on that project that was at Rockwell. She was probably all of 21 or 22 years of age at that time. And she was one of the programmers on the project. She put in the long hours. I can still remember our pizza parties at 3 a.m. and getting that system pulled in. And over life, she ended up stopping working, rearing a family. Her husband was supporting the family, and he unfortunately was electrocuted in an electrical accident. And she, with the power of the internet, found her old buddy Ann and was just trying to get some career advice from me. And my career advice to her was, why don't you come check out this Convergence Technology program?
Yeah.
She's doing great. Last I heard, she had a couple of job applications in. I have not followed up, but I suspect she's going to have a re-careering situation now that her kids are grown and she has new skills.
That's great. And that Convergence Technology program is really going well. You had a student, oh gosh, what's her name? The woman that won the award.
Hawkins.
Mary Hawkins, yeah.
Mary's awesome.
Could you tell us a little bit about her?
Oh, fabulous, fabulous. She is someone who previously was a casino waitress, and she couldn't support her family, had to move back in with her parents. She has a child, single parent, and she went through the program. She actually came to one of our many recruitment events, in this case for undeclared students. And she learned about the program and went, gosh, I think maybe I can do that. And we mentored her and worked with her. I learned that we were actually mentoring her. That's the word. We just kind of supported her and helped her along the way to make it through the program. And she graduated about a year ago, ended up with 8 interviews the week after she graduated, 4 job offers
Wow.
and is doing quite well.
That's excellent. Yeah, she was at the meeting
She's fabulous.
back in February. Yeah, she's really an incredible student success story.
Sure.
And we see a lot of these kinds of success stories come
We
out of
do.
these ATE programs.
We do.
Now, one more question for you. You recently completed your PhD. Congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
speaking with Dr. Beheler here.
Woo.
And how was that?
That was fabulous, actually. As I mentioned, I dropped out of a PhD program in computer science. I was lured away by industry in the, I guess, early 80s time frame to go to work for Rockwell. And I always wondered whether I should finish that PhD. And along the way, I was mentioning, oh, I probably never needed it. And a friend said, you're not asking the correct question. The correct question is there a scenario by which you might need it or want it in 5 or 6 years? So I went off and did it. At the time, I was Dean of Distance Learning for Collin County Community College. And so I decided to do the Walden program, which has a portion of it that is online, and I decided to do the program in education because realistically that's where I truly have decided I want to spend the rest of my career, and I hope it's a long career from here on out. Not planning on retiring anytime soon, but
That's good news.
Good. I'm glad you think
Yes,
that's good news.
yes.
Anyway, bottom line of it is in the educational program through Walden University, I was able to learn a great deal of theory and practical principles that I'm able to use on a day-to-day basis. So it was fabulous. Fabulous.
That's great, Ann. Well, congratulations, and
Thank you.
You're certainly one of my favorite people to work with.
Oh,
And I'm glad
thanks,
to hear
Gordon.
you're not going to be retiring
No
or leaving.
time soon. No
Going back to
time
industry or
soon.
something
No.
like that. Okay.
Not going to do either one of those. I figured
right.
out what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, thank you, Ann.
Thanks.